Okay, guys, let's have a debrief on the trip. I'm expecting you to do most of the analysis and therefore probably most of the talking. All right? Anything you particularly wanted to talk about on what just happened?
Oh, nothing particularly. We didn't do a particularly good approach, but I think it was an acceptable approach.
Right. Okay, that's the last one into Heathrow. Okay. Well, I'd like to talk about that first because I think that's the freshest thing in our minds. But before we get on to how it actually went, was there anything that you particularly did well on that approach?
I think the CRM worked quite well between us, and the communication I think was working quite well.
Yeah. On the approach itself?
On the approach itself,
okay.
yes.
All right. You went around quite...
Yes, that was unfortunate.
Late. Why was that?
That was unfortunate. Well, we didn't get the speed back in time when
Right.
it became visual, yes.
Okay. So you were quite fast on the approach?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. How well do you think you flew the approach?
Well, given the fact that we have vectoring, which was not ideal since the ATC left us quite high and quite fast, because at the final approach fix, we were screwed at 180 knots.
Right. Okay. On the approach.
And we were high on the slope, so we did everything we could to recover. That we were a little late, a little fast.
Right.
And eventually it finishes in a go round. But
okay. How did you manage the go round?
I reacted quite quickly.
Yeah.
Since I felt quite a relief.
Mm-hmm.
Since in the very last second I thought the situation was becoming a little uncomfortable, let's say.
Right. Okay. Even for you.
Yeah. So I felt relief with the go round call of Robin. And we went around properly, I guess.
All right. So you thought that was a good decision?
Yeah, that was a good decision.
Okay. Was it the right time to go around?
To me, yes. The thing is, I was quite tunneling on the objective, and I wanted to land the aircraft, and I thought I was able to do it.
Okay.
But it was a little bit harder than expected. So to me, it was time to go around.
Right. Okay. All right. What? Although you had quite a late turn in, and you were asked to keep your speed up, was there anything else which made you high on the approach?
I think it's the ATC who vectored us quite close to the final approach fix at a high speed, and we have been cleared to intercept the glide slope right after checking the glide slope.
Okay. All right. So that was one of the reasons why you got into that situation. Was there anything that happened after that made it worse?
Yeah, technically, if you remember, Robin, it's so the altitude index was set at 2,500, and we started the recovery at 3,000, and we have checked Aldrin at 2,000, where we were in vertical speed to recover the glide slope.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And when you got out green, what do you think might have happened after that? What were your thoughts at the time as to what might have happened?
Yeah, what I should have done right from the beginning is setting a altitude higher, then selecting vertical speed and arm approach.
And then you wouldn't have got that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, but that put you quite high and quite fast. How did you react to that?
So I've done the appropriate procedure, but at the second time.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I set the altitude higher, and then rearm the vertical speed for 1,000 feet, or I can't remember exactly the value, but around 1,000 feet per minute to recover the glide slope.
Okay, and it didn't seem to be helping.
Yeah.
So what else could you have done?
I should have extended more flap, more landing gear earlier, maybe.
Right. Okay. When you mentioned that he was high, how did he react to you?
I suppose he reacted. I'm not sure that he reacted as quickly as I would have liked.
Right. What did he say in response to you?
I don't remember. What did you say in response?
Yes, I know.
So he was aware that he was
I was aware of the situation, but you continue as long as you think you can make it.
Right, okay. And how did you interpret that response from him?
Well, I wasn't very happy with the response, I must admit, because I would have liked him. He sounded a little bit almost belligerent in a way. He said,
Right,
I would have
okay.
liked him to perhaps have been a little more polite in his comment. But my feeling was that he, with his experience, he should have been in control of the situation.
Right.
And he was more or less in control. I would have liked him to be a little quicker in the things that he did.
Okay, in responding to,
Yes,
to,
yes.
to you being high.
Mm.
Saying I know, how useful was that, do you think, Raphael, to Robin?
It's a matter of communication. He talked to
Mm.
me and I answer him.
Mm.
I'm aware of the situation. He tried to describe me.
He felt that it was a little belligerent. Or did you realise that might have been how he received that?
Yeah, no, it's not being belligerent, but I wanted him to understand that I'm fully in control of the aircraft
Okay.
and in the situation.
All right, okay.
That's it.
But it was perceived that way.
Yeah.
So that, good. So what have we learned, guys, from this?
I think perhaps our communication was not as good as it could have been.
Yeah, maybe we could have not accept the proposal of the
Okay.
ATC
Yeah, that would have been.
to keep the speed that high
All right.
so long.
And also, of course, we have a requirement to be stable at 1,000 feet, which we were not, and that requirement is there for a reason. And in future, I guess I need to remember that and take action accordingly.
But I mean, it's not always easy.
It's not always
Yeah.
easy. No.
And if you did find yourself in that situation with a first officer not reacting, what do you need to do?
Or then you take control.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's. Do you need? Would you do anything prior to that?
It would depend on the circumstances,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think the first reaction is to say do something. The second reaction is to say go around, and the third reaction is to take control,
Right.
depending on the response
Yeah.
that you get.
Yeah. And you'd be comfortable with that if that was the case.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Okay, good. Right, that's all for now, guys. I think we've all learned quite a lot, including myself. And well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.